Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KGX to the Z TV. We are here, folks. We are ready to go. No more preseason, no more Club World Cup. Put the transfer rumors to the side a little bit and let's focus on the football on the pitch. Stamford Bridge, Sunday morning settings. Crystal Palace making that trip across town. Very, very good side, but I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm very pleased and very optimistic about what I've seen so far, not only in the Club World Cup and the signings that we've made who have just seemed to just hit the ground running and integrated seamlessly into the 11, into the squad for players like Gittins, players like Esteval, but just the momentum that we sort of carried from the back end of last season has really put us into a good place. It's got some of the rival fans a little bit wary. Is Chelsea back? Are they contenders? Are they legit? How serious and how legit was that Club World Cup final where we just dominated PSG? So this opening match for Crystal Palace, a good Crystal Palace side, right? This Crystal Palace side that won the FA Cup last year, won the Community Shield, beat Man City in that cup, beat Liverpool, a strong Liverpool side in the Community Shield 2-2, well deserved win, even though they won on penalties. That second half, they had a better second half than Liverpool had a first half. So this is a team, players all around. Whether or not they're weakened a little bit with the likes of Eze and potentially Guehi being held out amidst transfer rumors, right? Tottenham, Arsenal for Eze, as well as Guehi for Liverpool sniffing around. Whether or not Palace protect their investments and say, you know what, we can't afford you. There's 37 more matches to go in this Premier League. We'll be okay. We'll see. But if Palace puts out their starting 11 and their strongest 11, it's going to be a good test for us, and especially considering the injuries that we have at the back with Achapong being out, Achapong stepping in for an injured Levi Colwell, as well as for Tosin, who seemed to pick up a knock yesterday in training. So the back line's going to be tested, but hopefully the experience between Reece James, Cucurella, and Chalobah, who we know are probably going to be the starters, are going to have to carry young Josh a little bit, maybe make up for his mistakes if he does make any, and maybe just kind of calm the kid down, let the kid kind of ease into it. The crowd's going to be buzzing. The crowd's going to be behind him. He's a Cobham kid. We know Maresca rates him. We know that that the board and internal folks rate him, but it's just a matter of not putting too much pressure on him too early to allow him to just sort of get his feet wet, get a little bit of confidence about him. We know center backs do not peak until they're much, much older. So to expect him to come in and give us the same sort of output and same sort of quality that Levi Colwell gave us, yeah, that's far-fetched. But for him, it's very important for him from a confidence standpoint to go in there. And it's going to be a tough test. Like I mentioned before, Crystal Palace is a good side. Their front three, if they all play, if Eze plays off that left, if Sarr's off that right, and he's very mobile, he can pop up in different spaces, pop up in the central positions, he can pop up on either flank. He's a good ball carrier, he's strong, he's physical. He's been a player that I've secretly rated since his Watford days, way back in even in the Championship, where I thought, yeah, there's a player in there, maybe not of the Chelsea caliber level, but still, the Crystal Palace is a very good team. They're going to have a very good chance, especially if they hold on to the players to win the Conference League. And then then you've got the big guy up top, Mateta, and he's been on one since about 2 years ago when he sort of turned the corner and really refined his game to be just a really, really good and solid overall striker. Good in the air. He's physical. He can hold up the play. He's got a pretty good finish on him. He runs the channels. He's strong. He's a nuisance. So he's going to be a big test, and it's going to be up to Josh and Trevor to match his physicality and to not back out of challenges and to meet him eye to eye. So we'll see. We'll see how we deal with him. I mean, of course, we're going to have Caicedo and Enzo sort of in there in the midfield, although we know Enzo's probably going to be playing a little bit more further, and, kind of that box crashing role that he sort of evolved into and really excelled at come the end of the last year. And then Caicedo just doing what Caicedo does, just box to box, sweeping stuff up, tackles here, starting attacks, playing that first pass, breaking lines, and doing all the great things that we know Caicedo will do. But he's going to have to just marshal Josh a little bit and kind of ease him in there and just protect him a little bit and let Josh get comfortable, let him get a little bit of confidence about him, and then hopefully he settles into the game and we can just play ball. But it'll be interesting to see who we pick on the wings and who Maresca goes with. We know Neto's probably going to be one of them. I thought maybe even on our left side, on their right side, to combat a very, very active Munoz. We know that he's just a terror up and down that right-hand side. He was one of the players last year that really, I think last year was his first year with Palace, really, really jumped out at me. And I was like, this guy's a player. He's active. When you keep hearing a right back or a right wing back's name and you're just like, you just keep seeing him pop up in dangerous positions, spraying balls in, pop up with the odd goal here and there. He's tenacious. He's a little techie because he's got some nice feet. Kind of like Malo Gusto in a little bit when Gusto's playing that role. But he's got a little bit more pace about him and is a little bit more direct, where Malo's, a little bit more tricky with his feet and a little bit more of a ball player. But he's definitely a player that we got to watch out for. We know their back five is going to be organized, right? LaCroix, Chris Richards, Gahey. Whether or not Gahey plays, we'll see. But we know that they're going to be crazy organized. Adam Morton sitting in front of them, probably Will Hughes sitting in front of them. So that's pretty much 6 to 7 defensive players. Dean Henderson in goal, who's pretty solid as well. And then, like I mentioned, they're fluid front three. So we'll see how we game plan for them. I think Crystal Palace will come out at first sort of a mid-block, low block, try to hit us on the counter a little bit. And depending on if Eze is there, he scored versus us the last time we played him. Really, really nice shot from outside the box. But he's someone that we're not going to allow. We can't afford to allow him time on the ball and space on the ball. Anytime he picks up the ball, there's got to be somebody on him, letting him know that they're there and making sure that he can't just turn and just run directly at our defense. So we'll see. We'll see how we sort of combat and how we come out and attack their defense. We saw Liverpool sort of struggle with that a little bit, especially in the second half. But maybe it's a little bit of Liverpool not having their legs and things like that, and Palace, showing that they were up for it a little bit more, right? Community Shield, we know, means more to them than it does to Liverpool. But we've seen Crystal Palace be a thorn in all the big club sides, and last year took two draws against us, two undeserving draws, but draws nonetheless. So we'll see. But for us, the attack, we've got to get goals. We've got to hopefully get an early goal, put them under a little bit of pressure, make them chase the game, make them open up a little bit more, where potentially we can hit them on the counter with the pace of Neto, potentially with João Pedro in there on hot form, and then Cole Palmer sort of pulling the strings with Enzo a little bit behind him or a little bit to the left of him. Also playing kind of a dictator role, kind of that box crasher, like almost like an attacking mid in possession. What we do with the other wing, I'm not sure. Esteval has definitely shown enough in preseason for him to start out there, but whether or not Maresca wants to throw him right to the Wolves, that's a little bit dangerous. If you do play Neto on that right-hand side and you play Gittins on that left-hand side, that's asking Gittins a lot to track Munoz going up and down that flank. So we'll see. But either way, definitely confident going into it, definitely optimistic about the season overall. I think there's work that still needs to be done in the transfer market. If there's an opportunity to upgrade at center back, even though the board is saying we're good with internal solutions, I'm more of the line with the Maresca of we need to find somebody that can replicate what not only what Levi does in terms of build up as that central center back, but also potentially even an upgrade on that right hand side, an upgrade on Tosin, an upgrade on Chalobah, an upgrade on Fofana, because we know he's just not going to stay fit. So there's work there to be done. Xavi Simons would be a nice little fixture too to give Cole Palmer a little bit of backup, although Esteval played there. I'd rather have a Xavi Simons and have Esteval coming in off the right, where he can kind of get 1v1s and go onto a stronger foot or go to the outside and whip some balls in. So we'll see. A lot of work to be done. But going into the season, we've looked about as good as we've looked in quite some time. So I'm very, very, fairly confident. I'm going to go with a 2-1. I think we'll get out to an early lead, get a second goal, and I think we'll kind of give up one late, make it a little bit nervy at the end, but ultimately 3 points is all I care about. Don't care about the performance. Just care about getting 3 points, and we move on to the next one. But before you guys move on, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Turn those notifications on. We're going to be a lot more active on this channel. We're going to be popping up on panels on other folks' channels. So make sure you let me know in the comments what you think about this game, what you think the lineup should be. Give me your prediction in there, and let me know, man. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Up the Chelsea.